Well, hello, welcome to Drawing with Fire. I'm Valarie, your neighborhood pyrography artist, and we're joined with Hubcap.
Hubby?
I've gotten so because you've said it so much.
You got all cool rhyming earlier and that threw you off.
I guess so. Today we're going to work on the fancy alpaca's fancy flowers. Now say that 3 times fast because I sure can't. Alrighty, so I have not worked on it since last live because I got my C19 back on Wednesday and my lupus was very mad at me for a week. Doing better.
It was a difficult time.
It was a difficult time, but we did it. So fully backed. And one last word. Hey, Kathy, Spence, Andrea. Did I miss it? Gila. As we're waiting for everybody else to come in. So what I'm going to do is these flowers are a bunch of mess. And I do have over here a sepia version of them. And they are lighter in general than the alpacas. I wanted to say llama. But here's the thing. As an artist, I can change the tonal value and not go by the tone of the flowers if I feel like it's going to be too much or lack enough contrast between the alpaca and the flowers. Granted, I'm still working on the fur, but I know they're going to go darker, so I need to go lighter on the flowers. But what I am going to do first, before I do anything else, hey Alicia, we are going, is it bright enough?
She says if she disappears, she had to go get fitted for her brace.
Okay. I am going to take my charcoal white generals and I am going to lay out where my brightest highlights are first. I am
going to take a drink of coffee.
Well, then you take a drink of coffee. Well, we're going to only focus on this side. And I think we will do the rose. Now, the lighting on the rose, because I had spun the rose, it shows the lighting at the bottom with the rest of our lighting at the top. So I have to, in my brain, flip that. I don't have to, but I want to. Meaning, I want my lights on top. So we're going to go through real quick, mark those out. I do have my 18 extra small heating, and I didn't even go on the rose. And so so there will be no lights down here because the lights are going to be up here. So I'm just going to kind of put some in. Definitely along the flip of the petal. We always have to pay attention to that. Put some up here. It's harder to hold my phone and try to do this at the same time. So yeah, we don't have any, we're not going to have any lights down here because it's just not going to read correctly. So we'll just do this, and we got that in there. And then I can't remember the flowers that I used for this, which really stinks. I wish I could. So I'm going to put my brightest brights only in. Now with petals, the big thing I wanted with this and why it's so busy is I wanted petals to be overlapping each other. So we could practice that. So we'll get some of that in there. So I'll just go through, and I'm only going to do a couple flowers so we can get going. Now in here I have an iris, and it's a purple and white iris. And I have to decide how dark I want the darks to be. Plus, I also have to decide if I want to add any color to these flowers after the burn. Because all of that makes a difference on how I'm going to burn it. If I decide I want color, then I would do less of a burn, meaning that is dark, so that the color would show. If I'm not going to do that, then I can always go darker. Let's get some of that in there. Following the direction of the petals. Always, no matter what you're doing, follow the direction of your subject. whether it's fur or hair or just a shadow. So we know the tip is darker, and then we have another petal of a different flower back here, and then we'll go ahead and get going. Because right here in the middle is our darkest part of our iris that has less white in it. Alrighty. So, hot. I'm hot. It's snowing. Oh, yeah. It kind of stopped snowing.
It's still snowing.
Alrighty. So remember the 18 extra small still burns at 0, and I'm at 0. We'll put the rose in first. We always need to pay attention to where 2 areas come together, because that's where we're going to have a shadow. So I'm using the tip and then dragging up to separate these 2 petals. And I'm actually going to have to switch pens to do lighter because that's on 0 and it's still burning pretty dark. Again, this is on basswood. But this pen also burns dark on birch. And even though it looks small, it definitely, you can get an area in quickly. But for the dark areas, I can move quickly. This is more the full bottom, or full half of the bottom of the tip. We can see it burns a little lighter. I'm going to switch over to the small so that I can get my lighter burns. I'll have to bump that up to 1. So this will be the 18S. And I'm going to just put it at like just shy above 1. Let it heat up for a second. I wasn't on the screen.
I love you.
I love you.
I didn't know what you wanted there.
Alright, so this is just shy of 1. And I'm using the tip, but I'm going in ovals.
Chat's very subdued today.
Is it the snow?
I don't know. I'm sure the snow's not affecting them.
But is it affecting us?
No.
I'm being silly.
Feels like Christmas though.
No, it doesn't. Quit saying that.
It does though. It feels
No,
like
it doesn't.
it.
No, it doesn't.
I should go out in the yard and put out the ornaments.
That's not fair. Alright, so see, with the just using the tip and going with oval strokes, I can go lighter because I'm moving quicker. If I was dragging, it would burn darker very quickly, and I'm like a little less than half of the bottom of the tip. And I can blend out the textures that I get. Right now I'm just laying in, getting that first base burn in, so it helps offset some of the heat. Because remember, once we burn an area, especially if we've already burned it dark, we have to raise our heat in order to continue burning. So blending it out, because I want a gradient from my shadow to my lightest part of the petal. I heard that.
I was on the inside.
I know.
Can't complain. Kathy says, "Ooh, I love Christmas."
Well, I do too. This is not fair, because that also would have meant we skipped Halloween.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
No. See, we have some...
Skipping summer would be nice. But maybe this summer won't be so bad. Let me knock on wood right now. Okay.
So just moving quickly, laying these in. And because I've got the white down. I'm trying not to burn all the way to the white, because although it will kind of act like a mask on lower heats, it also will burn a different color. So I'm just trying to bump up against it. See, we know this is bent down, so we're going to go a little darker. Go lighter on the top. But this also shows now that under here needs to go even darker. If I would have kept the flower on flipped, I would have maybe kept this. I don't know. This light area implies that the light is shining down into the rose from the side and top. And that's just not the lighting that I want. Blend it out. And so that'll be the same for all the flowers. Starting with the darker area first and then moving to blend. And how I put my shadows will allow for us to see how the petal moves, meaning how it's indented and it folds and it waves, because that's what petals do.
Wanda Hewitt is here.
Hey, Wanda.
Hi, y'all.
Hugh's supposed to be in Arizona.
I was gonna say, I was thinking about that. I was like, didn't she just move?
He's supposed to be here. So we have an overlapping here of this petal. So there will be a shadow, which means this part goes even darker because it's a crease. And it's just back and forth trying to lay it in. Some of these darks. Right now it's a mess. Staying on. I am not on screen again. My camera moved. There we go.
Oh, your rose is on the screen. You know what? I'm watching I'm watching what chat's watching. I need to step up my game, I guess. Because I'm watching 30 seconds ago. Wanda is actually in Gilbert right now.
Oh, I hope that was safe travels.
Is that where Wanda lives now? Gilbert?
We'll have to ask Wanda.
Well, I just did kind of. Shirley says, you're drifting up into the sky. Cassie says, welcome to Arizona, kiddo. Is Kathy also in Arizona?
That's a good question.
That's a question there, Kathy. You in Arizona also? And if so, where at? Because when you went to the Woodcarver show, you had a meet and greet last time. And that was 2 years ago?
Well,
but nobody came because...
We did 2020, but I didn't announce a meet and greet.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
Mm-hmm. That was 2019.
19, yeah. But nobody was here from Arizona, so we didn't meet anybody.
I know.
But
that was the year of the wreck, wasn't it?
The year of the wreck, yes, it was.
Oh, that's 2017.
Yeah, so maybe next time you do the woodcarving show and you have a meet and greet, maybe we could meet some of your toasties.
I expect I will be doing it next year.
Yeah.
It'll be one of my last years doing it.
Yeah.
It is fun doing it, but it's a lot of work. Alright, let's erase some stuff. See what kind of petals we have.
This says they drove across the country last week and stopping to visit family and friends along the way. Shirley, did I miss? Well, I read a comment. Yeah, Shirley is here.
Oh.
Yeah, because I read a comment.
Oh, that's right.
I forgot to
sorry,
read her.
Kathy.
So sorry.
Kathy, yeah, he's in Wickenburg, which is northwest of Phoenix.
Wickenburg Way.
Yeah.
Hey, isn't there like a sign for that?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I recognize that. Name. See, I'm not from around here, so I don't. Well, I guess I am now.
Yes, you are.
But I'm not as familiar with this as you are, because you've lived here a lot longer.
Don't remind me. Alright, so just putting in some darks. And I do think I'm going to end up shadowing underneath the flowers a little bit to help pop them out more. So I'm just going back and forth again now that I can see where I've got my lighter stuff. I'm going to go in.
Kathy says, yes, I am. We live out Wickenburg Way. And she and hubby are both natives. I'm assuming natives.
Arizonans.
Arizona, yep. And Wanda says, that would be great to meet you guys.
Yeah, we will look at doing that next. I can't remember if
Kathy
they've already
that
said
would be
it's
nice
either
to meet you
February or
guys.
March.
Yeah, Kathy said that would be nice to meet you guys.
Yep. That'll be, yeah, it's next February or March. They tend to do it, the show, Valentine weekend. It's like, really? I realize that there's a lot of older people that do the show. Well, when I say older, I mean older, elderly. I tend to be the youngest person there.
That is true.
Which means I get some looks.
Kids. Wanda says kids. Kathy says, oh yes, it would be nice to meet you kids. Yeah. Val wants to know, can you bring the burning down a bit? Isn't focusing well at the top of the screen.
Let's try that. Let's see. Because I keep like scooching so that I can see, but then I'm off camera. Hopefully that's better.
Yeah.
Angle my tip a little bit and cut in some darks. Now with the red rose, it does go darker. Remember to shift your photo over into sepia so you can see, because red actually reads, depending on the red, it reads lighter than your brain would think. And so switching it over will help you to see that tonal value better. So that's laid in. I'm going to pop over to this flower real quick. This is not as done as it's going to be. I just wanted to show building up the layers.
Kathy says that you and I are close to her kids' ages.
But we are grandparents.
Yep.
Get some darks in here. We are grandparents. Alright, stop focusing. Switch over here. So I have the iris petal
Were you
here.
talking to me?
No, that wasn't to me.
Okay, I thought that was to you, but I needed to make sure because it's like, is she talking to herself again or is that me?
Talking to myself again. Sometimes I talk to myself because I'm the only one that listens. Huh?
What?
What?
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Exactly. Exactly. So right here, these petals, it looks like they're only four, but they layer underneath, and the next layer has 1, 2, 3, has about 6, and I can't remember the name of these flowers. I'm gonna actually turn down.
I know what they are.
What are they?
They're pink, white, and blue flowers.
No. Just no.
No?
No.
They're parschlimens.
I picked certain flowers.
I made that up.
Yeah. I picked certain flowers because of their meaning, and then I can't remember the meaning.
And the blue ones are Charbonskis.
No, they're irises.
Oh, they're irises?
Yes.
Oh, I should know that from the show last night.
Yeah, blue irises. So I'm negative burning actually to help shape the petal. So we have a shadow on the petal underneath. So we need to use that to help build up our petals.
Kathy says we are great grandparents. Well,
I want that to be, well, it has to be for a while. I mean,
Wanda, yeah, does that. Mechanically,
yeah. You know,
Wanda says, I had an exciting surprise last week when we stopped in Pierce to visit the kids and parents.
oh.
The youngest of the family actually bought a second-hand burn tool and had burned a turtle on a small piece of wood.
Oh, that's awesome. It's always fun. It's fun when family decide to take up the pen.
Take up the pen.
Take
That
up the
sounds
pen.
So dramatic. Like, will you follow in your mother's footsteps and take up the sword?
Well, yeah. So I'm just trying to shape it right now. And then underneath, what flower is that? That's another one of these. I actually pulled a lot of flowers out to give it some breathing room. So this flower, we got a shadow here, and a shadow here, and then on the iris has dark tips. At least this one does. So I need to get the feathering of that in. Get the shape right so that it looks like it's folding. We want that fold. It helps break up these other flowers. That was another reason I wanted it. To help break them up. Let's see here. Thing is, I did the, well.
Oh, he was 11, the one that burned the turtle.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's tempted to buy him a new one, but not the Optima yet because he's only 11.
Well, it depends on what he's working with now. If they can get the soldering craft burner down, carefully, because that is hot.
It's always a hard age, too.
It is.
Like, are they going to be dedicated to it? Is it something that they're going to do the rest of their life? Because
it's not like Grandma can't take the burner if
true.
he doesn't like it.
That's true.
That's why I didn't buy Josh a brand new one.
Yeah.
I'm sending one of mine.
Because, like, when I was growing up, like, I always did art. And it was something that did continue on throughout, life. But that's not the case for everybody. Like, one of my friends that I was good friends with when I was little, she was like, she loved horses. But when she turned 16, she sold her horse and bought a Chevy. So, that's what happens.
Alright, we have some dark of the iris here. So I can just lay that in. And right now I'm just slowing down and using the tip and the edge at the same time to get a little bit of dark in there. And then, don't even know if it's in the right spot. We do have a dark here.
Good Lord, Kathy.
What?
11 grandchildren and 8 great-grandchildren.
Well, we know what you did 11 times.
That's overachieving, Kathy.
We know what you did 11 times.
Well, no. 11 grandchildren?
Oh, how many kids?
She didn't say. Yeah, I know, Wanda. I felt the same way because, like, I don't know what the situation was there, but it just, like, when kids turn a certain age, when they become teenagers, there's focus shifts, so I don't know.
Just getting in the dark tips. Some of it is not as dark.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Hmm.
I was looking at what you're doing.
Trying to get some of this in to make it look like negative burning underneath these petals. And that means these goes even darker. What do you, Moving quickly, tapping down.
So it's coming down again. No, I was thinking ahead to lunch.
Do what happen?
Is today a soup day? Is what I was wondering. Is it a soup day?
What soup do we have?
We got cream and mushroom, and we got broccoli cheese.
You're trying to make my brain do two things at once.
No.
Yes, you
You
are.
asked me.
But you mentioned it.
That's my job.
To make my brain do two things at once?
Yeah. I'm a complicated man.
Who told you that?
Hey.
Oops. I'm sorry.
You know what?
No.
You should have known this when you married a hobbit.
I can't do Gandalf's voice.
Mm.
And they don't understand what that means.
That's probably a good thing. No, because of our because of
the size
perspective
on
that we've
the
got
camera.
going on here. So I look like I'm roughly 1/3 your size. So.
Which is funny considering you're taller than me.
Yep.
All right. Put in some of these leaves in the back, moving very quickly and using more of the bottom than the tip. Just so I know where they're at. Get those laid in there. And really, we don't have to go crazy with detail on these because they are so small. We just need to make them look like flowers. Get those in. What is that? We have some petals actually laying directly on each other with a light band under here. And see, this is one of the reasons I'm going to have to do like shadow, which now that I've done it.
Wanda says, I think I married a hobbit. I think I misunderstood something. It's just the visual. It's just the visual because I'm so much smaller, Wanda.
On camera.
Which is not true in real life.
No.
So if you've seen the Lord of the Rings movies with the hobbits, they use that forced perspective a lot to make some of the actors look small.
And then he called me Gandalf.
I did. I did that earlier off camera.
Why can't I be Galadriel?
You can be Galadriel.
But you called me.
Actually, that's more appropriate.
Thank
that's
you.
Way more appropriate.
That's is there something you ain't
The
telling
only
me?
thing that's different is that Galadriel needs to walk around in fuzzy socks and pajamas.
Hey.
What a difference that would make.
She has to run the elfin world.
Flowing white robes that she wore like Charlie Brown pajamas and striped socks.
Actually, I'm wearing my Christmas.
See, and you're like giving me hassle for Christmas, but you're wearing Christmas socks, aren't you?
Because they're the warmest.
This
it's
is probably all your fault.
I didn't do it this time. I didn't do it. So you're just jealous. I'm trying to get some stuff in so I can erase. So like right here, I need to darken up the alpaca to separate the areas.
What do you mean, who told me I'm complicated?
Why did that just hit you?
I think if you recall, this entire day, or maybe it was last night.
Brain fog. I don't recall nothing.
That's an easy out. I don't believe that. You had brain fog a couple days ago when you were running a fever. I think that's cleared by now.
I don't remember.
That's what I thought.
Don't remember.
It's 11:28.
You always aspired to be Big Ben, didn't you?
Huh?
So it's going to be a back and forth.
No.
Again, took you a while.
It's been happening a lot lately.
That's what she said.
I'm multitasking. Hey!
I love you.
Yeah, I love you too. I should be grateful, I suppose.
I'm not going to say nothing on that one.
Yeah.
So let's erase down
It's
here.
a good thing.
Excuse me.
Thank goodness for small miracles.
That's what she said.
Eh.
So of course the white's coming off.
No soup for you.
Oh, soup Nazi, please.
Thank you, Kathy.
I think that's like one of the only ones that
Don't
will
forget to like, she says.
Yes, please. next week we will work on the flourishes, which are these things sticking out, and then at the top, so we want those to look 3D. And see, another thing I'm going to have to do is I actually have to put in some of this fur around the rows so that I can erase these lines and start shaping the flowers. We Miss Burl today.
I know.
We got Spence and Sheila, thankfully, and Andrea. Teresa. I'm thinking of the specials. Reverse specials. So I'm just using the tip. I'm trying to drag in. This, like I said before, this pen does better with fur. I can move it back and forth, move quickly, and get those fur shapes without the individual hairs, because right here we don't see the individual hairs. But I need...
Spence is laughing at us, or with us, or with you.
That's probably the answer right there.
I know it is, sadly.
Here a little darker, so this is all negative burn.
For the entertainment, yeah.
See, we need these darks down here to help pop out.
Oh, look at that snow come down. So let us know.
So I will have to go back and forth. I'm going to have to move the reference photo back to the other side because I have a tendency to pull this way because I'm right-handed and it just keeps covering up what I'm doing. So I will have to let's back it up.
Looking good.
And it's a mess right now. But
you always say that.
Because it is a mess. I'm still at the very base of this. So let's see if we have any questions. Yep, it looks like a snow globe outside. Yay!
And you would have been further along with this, except for...
This is the first time I've done any burning in a week.
Except for your feverish and hallucinating.
I did draw some patterns in my state, but I haven't done any burning. It wouldn't have been safe for me to burn at that time.
No.
So I didn't. And I missed it. I almost sat down and burned yesterday, but actually I was transferring patterns for a little project. And when I say little, I mean little. That I'm doing, but I'm not going to talk about that until I make sure it works.
Okay.
Okay.
Pretty sure it's going to work. What was that for me? Or is that like, you don't talk about it?
What happens at Burn Club stays at Burn Club.
No, you're scaring me. Help?
He don't need no help.
Says you.
He don't need no help.
Oh yeah, she's feeling better, Kathy.
Him.
It's great.
I love him.
It's wonderful.
I guess you did kind of get a reprieve, didn't you?
In a way.
Oh, I did scare you though.
Yeah, are you going to talk about the laughing in your sleep? The scary little girl laughing? So I'm up at night, sleeping. I mean, I'm sleeping, but I am awakened by high-pitched cackling. Yeah, and then I'm like, I'm laying in bed, right? I'm like, and then a few seconds later, like, I don't know what that was about, but it's scary. It's so scary.
Yeah.
I was like,
I would have liked to have seen that.
Evil Dead type laughing. So.
But if they haven't seen Evil Dead, they wouldn't.
I'm sure that there's a few of them that have seen Evil Dead. But rest assured, it's scary.
All I remember dreaming about that night is resin, so I don't know what part that was.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't want to know.
I was putting a whole house under resin and then cutting it up. Don't have a clue. I was having fun.
Apparently that was hilarious to you.
But I don't know if that's the part that
I don't know either. It was pretty freaky. Val says, sorry to hear you were under the weather.
Yeah. Well, it done. And fingers crossed we don't have to get boosters.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so next week we will do the flourishes. I have not decided what I'm going to do with the frame. I have not decided if that's going to be a dark frame or if I'm going to use like gold leaf or silver leaf on it. I haven't decided yet. Or if I'm coloring the flowers. Although I think the flowers may need actually some coloring. I think it would look better.
Wanda says you remember your dreams.
Sometimes. Not often, but sometimes.
Yeah, me too.
The Amber came to visit last week, or the week before. That made me happy. So yeah. Next week we will do the flourishes, which should have a metallic feel to them. So we will work on that. And then I will have to decide on the frame, because if I'm not burning the frame, that could be a live of adding color and whatnot. Actually, the color has to come first before the frame, because for me to put any ink on the wood and have it look right and have it look like metal, I need to seal the wood first. So
Spence still has to get his second shot in 4 months. Wow, that's long.
4 months?
Yeah, that's a long way to wait.
Wow.
But when you get that second shot, hopefully it doesn't hit you.
Yeah.
Like my daughters, it wasn't too bad. They were a little achy for a little bit, but
I couldn't start lifting my arm until Sunday.
I know.
Until 2 days ago.
I know.
And I don't want to discourage anybody from getting the shot.
No.
So I am not going to complain.
Yeah.
It wasn't the shot. It was my lupus mad at me for getting the shot.
Yeah.
That was a lupus flare that kicked my butt.
That is not the common experience.
No.
Now
No,
Daniel
no.
says, do you have a video on adding color to your burning?
I do. I have a whole playlist on adding color that has watercolor and colored pencil. Watercolor pencil, colored pencil. I don't do acrylic because acrylic it's just too bright and stands out too much for what I want my burning to look like if I had color. So this one, depending on how good I can detail the flourishes and the alpaca, I'm trying to decide if these will be colored pencil or if they will be watercolor pencil, because watercolor pencil, I can fade it more so it's not so bright and in your face, but I think we'll have to decide when we get there. Or you can also use pastels to color wood.
Val wants to know, is there an easy way to find them?
Yeah, I should just say adding color to Pyrography playlist. So if you go onto the home screen of my channel, pull that up real quick. Up at the top is videos, playlist. Click playlist. And let me. That's all my music. Let me find. You might have to go down a little ways. There we go. Show all. Alright.
Spence says, thank you. Awesome as always.
Thank you. I'm looking for it. It's in here. I need to see about reshuffling if I can't. Let's see, under the flower series. No, that's not the flower series. Where is it? I know I have it. There we go. Adding color to wood burning. That's the playlist. It has all kinds of adding colored pencil, markers, inks. Or were those watercolor inks? Don't remember. So, doing some tests as well. Yeah. I need to go through it and see if I missed any on adding color. Alrighty. Don't forget to hit like.
Yep.
Subscribe if you're
It's
new.
Much appreciated.
Yes, it
Thank
is.
you for coming here and hanging out with us today.
Yes. Oh, don't forget to say it with me. You know what to say. There we go. You're awesome. You can do this. Why? Because you're a pyrography artist. Happy burning, guys. See you next week. Bye. Oh, I don't want to get copyrighted for that. I don't know.
It's a hand motion.
Yeah, very specific hand motion.